What's up, everybody? Brian Edwards, MajorWager.com. I don't know what's wrong with my camera. It's not a, I don't know what's up with the focus. I went into setting. I'm an IT moron. I don't know. So it's not a, the picture's not right. So if you want to hear my Week 5 college football takes, just minimize and listen. If the picture is hard on the eyes, which I'm pretty confident it is. Sorry about that. Alrighty, Week 5 opinions, got lots of them. Let's go with Wake Forest, -6.5 versus Louisville. Louisville's playing a little better, but we're not going to give them too much stock, even though they hooked us up last week with that cute win against the semis, the winless semis. First time since 74 the Noles are 0-4. For September. But back to Wake Forest, which smashed FSU a few weeks back. Wake Forest has won by margins of 32, 25, 21, and 20. Sam Hartman, 9-1. TDI&T ratio. The Deeks are number 10 in the country in scoring defense, giving up only 14.3 points per game. Jakari Roberson's one of the best receivers in the country. They're 3 deep in the backfield. The Cardinals are traveling in back-to-back weeks. And in Wake Forest's last 8 home games, they have 7 wins by double digits, 1 loss, but that was to top-ranked Clemson, and they covered as home dogs in that game, season opener last year. Let's go out to Columbia, Missouri, and let's back the Tigers in bounce-back mode. Lost a heartbreaker at BC last week. I'm hearing Hendon Hooker is going to start for the Vols, and he's better than Joe Milton. He got banged up against the Gators, but he seems to be, and I'm coming to you, by the way, on Thursday afternoon at 2:30 Eastern. He seems to be trending toward playing, but the Vols have lost 4 of their last 5 SEC road games by double-digit margins. The lone exception was a win over Vandy last year when the Commodores went 0-9. We've got the quarterback advantage, especially if Hooker's not 100%, but I like Connor Bazelak. 68.8 completion percentage, 1,200 passing yards, 10-3 TDI&T ratio in only 4 games. And Tyler Beatty, 417 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, 6.3 yards per carry, 20 catches, 176 yards, 3 touchdowns. His 8 touchdowns are tied for the SEC lead with LSU wide receiver Keyshawn Butte. Love me some Mizzou, -2.5. LSU, now they're 3.5. I need you to buy the hook to 3. If you can't do that, just a little baby play. But Auburn looked awful last week, although they did hook me up down by 12 at halftime. I bet on them -14 in the second half, which was -2 adjusted for the game. And TJ Finley made that great play on 4th and 9 where somebody missed some blocks. And he somehow eluded those rushers and threw for a touchdown. And then my man Smoke Monday got the pick 6, and they won by 10. But Auburn is struggling. It's Thursday afternoon. I don't think Harson's even announced a starter yet. But I tell you what, LSU's probably not getting enough credit for their defensive effort last week. Their defense couldn't tackle at UCLA. But for 3 quarters and change, they pretty much shut Mississippi State down. They were up 28-10 early 4th. They went prevent. Mississippi State dinked and dunked and got a couple of time-consuming touchdown drives. But LSU held on and covered the short number, closed at 2 at most spots. And LSU's got a reason to believe. They got a big-time quarterback in Brad Johnson's son, Max. He's 5-1 in 6 career starts. And it was the defense's fault they lost at UCLA. 15-3 TDI&T ratio this year, 8-1 last year. That's 23-4 for his career. I like the Bayou Bengals laying the short number against Auburn. I like BC. If Phil Dracovic wasn't injured, I'd be calling for the outright upset. But he is injured. Dennis Grosel. And by the way, BC, my over 7 wins, looking good, 4-0. Coming to Death Valley, and Clemson's all banged up. Their offense doesn't have a pulse. Clemson is number 121 out of 130 FBS teams in total offense. What a joke. And now their two stud defensive tackles are out. Brian Breesy out for the season, first team All-ACC last year. Tyler Davis, first team All-ACC in 2019. Had injuries last year, missed 5 or 6 games, so no All-ACC last year. But Tyler Davis is out another 6 weeks. So those studs are out. Will Shipley, 5-star recruit, true freshman, started the last 2 games. He's out for a month with an injury. James Skalski, heart and soul of the defense since 2016. 6th-year senior linebacker. Left the NC State game last week. Did not return. Dabo on Monday said he was going to be okay. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't know if he'll be 100% if he does. And BC 17-6-1 against the spread. Last 24 is road to underdogs. Jeff Hafley has the Eagles undefeated. Remember, they had a 28-10 lead at Clemson late second quarter last year, led by 15 at the half. Ended up losing 34-28, but easily covered as a 24.5-point dog. BC's played a soft schedule, so some of these stats may not, just because of who they played, but I'll nonetheless point out they're number 18 in the country in rushing yards, number 15 in scoring, 41.3 points per game. The Eagles defense, number 21 in the nation in total defense, number 25 in run defense, number 24 in scoring D. And Dennis Grossell, the backup. Part of the reason why I backed BC's over 7, and if you checked out the video back in like June or July, I said we could survive an injury to Jurkovic. And now I hoped it wouldn't be the first possession of week 2, and I hoped it wouldn't be a season ender. But Grosso did have 8 career starts. He's now making his 11th career start. He's got a 19-8 TDI-INT ratio for his career and 4 career rushing touchdowns. He did throw for more than 500 yards at Virginia last year. And the Eagles have one of the best O-lines in the country and one of the best receivers in the country in Zay Flowers. BC plus 15-ish. As long as you're catching at least 14, you're good. Not as bullish on this one, but I'm going to trust South Carolina's defense, but a little smaller play money management-wise. South Carolina's defense is legit. They kept giving the offense the ball back with chances to win in the fourth quarter last week. The offense just couldn't get it done. But at home against Troy, which lost by double digits at ULM last week, when Rich Rod, the OC at ULM and former head coach at West Virginia, Michigan, and Arizona, his son Rhett got hurt in that game, and he's the starting quarterback for ULM. Yet they still beat Troy by double digits last week, 29-16. South Carolina's hosting Troy. South Carolina's -7. I'm going to trust South Carolina's defense to create turnovers. Troy's 127 out of 130 FBS teams in rushing, number 104 in total offense, number 87 in scoring. I think that South Carolina's defense will shut them down. South Carolina's defense, number 27 nationally, total D, number 18 at defending the pass. They hold opponents to 18.3. I'll lay the 7 with South Carolina. Arkansas, plus 18.5 or 19. JT Daniels has a lat muscle injury and is questionable. KJ Jefferson, who's played lights out for the Woo Pig Sioux Razorbacks, who are, by the way, 4-0, but straight up and against the spread. KJ Jefferson got a little banged up, but he did return to the game last week. They diagnosed it as a bruised knee. He might not be 100%, but it doesn't sound like JT Daniels is 100% either. And if Stetson Bennett plays, woo, we are in business. And look, Arkansas's backup QB, Malik Hornsby, got some playing time last week. He is a track superstar, speed galore, which could come in handy if he has to play against Georgia's fierce pass rush. And look, Georgia passes the eye test defensively. Maybe they have the best defense in the nation. We might find that out, but we don't know that yet because they played Clemson, UAB, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. And in that order, respectively, the Tigers, Blazers, Gamecocks, and Commodores rank number 105 in the nation in scoring offense. That's Clemson, 21.8 points per game. Number 85, UAB, 26.5 points per game. South Carolina, number 104, 22.3 points per game. And Vandy, number 129 of 130 FBS teams. That's who they've shut down. These are miserable offenses that they've shut down. So we don't really know if Georgia. I mean, look, they passed the eye test. I feel confident they're a top 5 defense in the country, but their stats have them the uno right now. This is the first legit offense they've played, and Arkansas faced a very legit defense in A&M's last week, and they scored 17 with the quickness last week, and then just kind of managed the game the rest of the way. They were up 17-zip, 17-3 at the half. A&M got a field goal on the last play of the first half. Can't turn down Arkansas plus 18.5. Let's see. Now the Army line, I bought it from 7.5 to 7 early in the week. It has drifted up. Some books even at 9.5 now. Not as bullish on it there. They're at Ball State, which is 0-4 against the spread, 1-3 straight up. All they have for a W is at FCS Western Illinois, and it only won by 10, didn't cover. And they've gotten walloped by double digits their other 3 games in big time. In fact, at Penn State, they lost 44-13. At Wyoming, where UConn had a fourth quarter lead last week, a mid to late-ish fourth quarter lead. At Wyoming, that's where Ball State lost 45-12, and then they lost at home 22-12 to Toledo last week. I think the Black Knights go in there and probably win by double digits, at least 7. If your number's 8 or 9, maybe just include them in a money line parlay. I don't like teasers in college football, but if you do, maybe tease them up with either Wake Forest. Yeah, tease them up with Wake Forest or a money line parlay. And you know what? If you're doing I don't suggest teasers in college. Maybe throw West Virginia in the money line parlay as well, or if you do tease, which I don't suggest, but West Virginia. When I do teasers in the NFL mostly, I like to get 6 to 8 point favorites, drop them down to just need to win by field goal or hopefully just win outright. So, you could do that with Army this week and West Virginia and Wake and to a lesser extent maybe South Carolina fit that bill this week. I may end up playing West Virginia -7. I haven't yet. Oh, and tonight, a little bit on the under, not a lot. I got it at 63, which is a key number on a total multiple of 7. It's at 62 now, but the under's 3-1 for Virginia. Their 3 unders had combined scores of 43, 56, and 54. The under's 3-1 for Miami. The 3 unders were 57, 48, and 55. The only one that was north of the 57 was a 69-0 win against FCS Central Connecticut last week. Don't know about it. De'Aaron King might not play. And the Cavs outlier, the one that went over, was a 59-39 loss at North Carolina. So feel pretty decent about the under tonight. I'm Brian Edwards, MajorWager.com. There are some Week 5 plays. Best of luck to you and to me. Have a great weekend. Over and out.